Good morning everyone, my name is Chris from Two-Headed Wolf Gaming and welcome to what will be our second game on this channel. Battle Brothers was developed by Overhype Studios, and if you've never played this game before, basically you are the head of a mercenary band. You will hire people to be in your band, from farmhands and miners to warriors and ex-caravan guards, and you will keep them well paid and well fed as they level up. You will equip them with some of the best armor you can find or buy, and hope that you can keep them alive as much as possible as you go through these great battles, sometimes having to sacrifice some people to run from when the odds are stacked against you. It's one of those games where you can invest a lot in your people and feel really bad when you lose any of them. So I do recommend that if you sit down, watch a few episodes and you feel even a little bit interested, you go ahead and buy the game. Spend some hours inside it, and if you really want to push yourself to find out what all the mechanics behind it are, there's many YouTubers out there who make these kinds of builds and explain in detail everything that's going on behind the scenes. So without further ado, let's start our campaign. You pick an origin at the beginning of the game. I'm just gonna go with the basic one with rebuilding a company. You are a second in command in a mercenary company that has been tracking a brigand named Hogarth for some time now. An unexpected turn of events leaves the company in shatters and you in charge to rebuild it to its former glory. I already went ahead and chose a name for our company. It's going to be called the Two-Headed Wolf Band. And we have this flag, which kind of looks like a two-headed wolf if you ask me. We also have the wolf jewel, or whatever you call it, right on top of our banner. So I believe this might be a perfect choice for us. On the late game crisis, these are big events that happen throughout the game. And if you, instead of going random, you choose one of them, maybe Nobles at War, know that when you finish it, after a while, you're going to get at random one of the other crises. So you can play this game for quite a long time with the band that you already have. I'm not gonna add permanent destruction. Basically, permanent destruction can make it that your towns and villages get totally destroyed and never repaired again in the endgame crisis, but I don't want to have any of that. As far as difficulty goes, I'm gonna start with beginner on economic and combat, and with high starting funds. I'm not great at this game. I did spend a bunch of hours inside it, but I never reach the end game or some of the end game content, and I really want to get into it a bit more. We might do something different sometimes in the future, but for the moment, let's just explore the game and enjoy our experience. Now this game has a quite beautiful art, and even though the first time I played it, when I saw the people fighting on the map and the entire world map, I got a little thrown back. It didn't seem as interesting. But as I watched one of my favorite YouTubers called Splattercat play this game, like, it really, the charm really got to me. So I kept looking at the game until it came out in version 1.0 once it left the early access. I'm not sure if it was in early access or if it just was a demo, but once it came out I bought it and I started playing it myself. For this, the story is basically that we're going now for Hogger the Weasel and his band of raiders. We got this as a contract and we got ambushed by them before we can find the leader. And so the first in command unfortunately got killed, and now us being the second in command took over. We are inside the battle with the few men we have left. Here in the back there's Hogger the Weasel, who is going to flee the battle, and we are left with just these 3 men and these 2 brigand thugs to fight. We have an arbalest over here. He has an ability called Shoot Bolt, which costs us 3 action points. Every character, every turn has 9 basic action points. This can be influenced by a few things, but 9 is the base of it. And we will just move this character. It's going to cost us 2 points to move him closer to our melee troops, and we're gonna shoot a bolt at his unshielded warrior. As you can see, because he's at a distance of 4, we get a 55% chance to hit. If we take a look at this other brigand thug, because he's armed with a shield, because there's a distance of 5, and because our line of fire is blocked by this other person, we get an 11% chance to hit. So let's just shoot at the guy without a shield. And we've missed. We have 4 more action points left, and we're gonna use them in order to reload our crossbolt. For the spearman over here, I'm just gonna move him here at the top to protect our ranged unit, and with the points we have left we can use this ability called Spear Wall. Basically what this ability does is that everybody who's gonna come into this area of control, like all around him, is gonna get a chance to attack and push the enemy back. Now that chance is influenced by whether he has a shield or not, and if he dodges the attack or not. There are quite a few things that influence this chance to hit, but it's a good way to do crowd control, especially on beasts like wolves or other monsters. For this 2-handed axe guy, I'm just gonna keep him on the spot and wait for the enemy to approach us. Unfortunately, he decided not to move. I'm gonna keep the 2-handed axe, I'm gonna make him wait. I'm gonna shoot a bolt once again at this brigand thug, and we missed again. I'm gonna put the spearman in spear wall once again and leave the rest of the points. I'm gonna ask him to wait for a turn. The brigand thugs are moving up on us. They're avoiding the spear wall. So what I'll do now is advance with our 2-handed axe and attack one of his units. Unfortunately we missed. I'm gonna move the spearman up as well and wait a turn. Now he's gonna get a few attacks on us, having the higher initiative. And we are bleeding now. You saw when they've attacked us that some of these bars got depleted. We have head armor, body armor, and hit points. In this game, you don't want people to straight up attack you. You want to have good armor and good head armor, unless you want them to have a straight up chance to do a critical hit by just hitting your head. So you're trying to protect your troops through armor. You won't really get too many chances for the enemy to just attack your body straight up and survive. Just keep that in mind. We're gonna shoot another bolt. Fortunately, we did manage to hit him this time. He now has a pierced chest. We're gonna find out more about wounds when we receive it on our own troops. Let's use this axe. We missed once again. How very unfortunate for us. We're gonna use this here, and lucky for us, we did kill him. Unfortunately, I'm saying a lot of fortunate and unfortunate right now. But Gustav, the two-handed axe, is now wounded and bleeding a lot. He only has 1 hit point left. If we don't kill this guy now, he's gonna lose his life as well. And unfortunately we didn't. Let's attack him and hope for the best. It didn't happen. I'm guessing maybe it's because we are on beginner difficulty, we don't straight up lose him, but usually from bleeding they would just die out. We have another chance. Unfortunately, one of our guys, called Gustav, is now hurt really bad. We received a buckler and 2 butcher cleavers from the ground, from the looting. Now we're alive with just 3 men and we're going back to our contractor. If we take a look at our man, Edward is just a companion. He's dissatisfied because we won a battle and lost most of the company in it. It's to be expected to be dissatisfied, I guess. And you see, having a good morale can influence quite a bit the initiative and the way you fight. Having low morale and breaking can cause a lot of problems for you in the long term, so it's very important to keep your man strong and stable. Gustav is cocky, meaning he has extra resolve, but he has less melee defense and range defense. This is not great starting at -3. And Wildrich the Falcon, who is our ranged unit, he's bloodthirsty, meaning that all kills are fatalities if the weapon allows it. If we take a look at our character stats, you can see that there are some stars over here. Every time you level up, you get a peak of adding 3 points into either of these stats, into most of them. You will see when I click on level up. But depending on the number of stars, you get some extra points on every roll. So it's gonna help us create, or it can help you decide in which direction you want your character to go. For Wildrich, since he does have a few stars in range skill and a star in range defense, we can decide early on that he's gonna be a good range character for us. For Gustav, because he has this cocky trait and he starts at -3, depending on the rolls, we might not want him to stay in the front lines with low melee defense. We might actually want to put him in the second line and use a melee weapon that can be used at a longer range, like a halberd or a pike. We will see more of this as we go along inside the game. For him, he has quite a good melee skill. What I'm gonna do now is take the two-handed axe from Gustav. I'm gonna give it maybe to Edward for a little bit and provide him with the shield and the spear, just so I can keep him protected. We have this Fangshire helmet, which is a 60 defense helmet. This is just for having the supporters edition. It's basically an edition that provides where I gave some extra money to the developer, and I didn't buy this one, the supporters edition, early on, mostly because I didn't want to spend the money until I spent a bunch of hours inside the game. But at this point I found that the game was truly worth it. The expansions that they put out have enough content where I believe they are doing a good job. So it is why I went ahead and bought this supporter edition and got this particular helmet. What I'm gonna do now is give it to one of our characters. And let's move ahead to our quest. This is the world map. Over to the north there are a bunch of Norsemen, like barbarians, Vikings, that type of characters, at least inspired from that type of culture. And to the south, this is the new expansion. It's a desert area. It's influenced by Turkish, Ottomanic or Persian kind of cultures, and they have the gunpowder weapons and cannons, and I've never explored these contents, so I'm looking forward to actually moving to the south slowly and trying to see what the new content has to offer. So let's move towards our contract over here in Elkshorn. So now we are getting inside the town. We look roughed up, and the person who hired us to take care of Hoggart the Weasel and his band of raiders will actually pay us because we took care of the raiders, and he offers us once again the chance to go ahead and fight Hoggart for another 400 gold. We can choose not to and do something else, but we will decide to go for Hoggart. This is the way the tutorial works. It gives you a bit of guidance on what to do next. Here is the town. We have people to hire over here, and they do have a marketplace. Like, villages are different, they produce different goods, so you can do a bit of trade as well to get more money along the way. We need 3 more people inside our band for the moment. So what I'm gonna do, poachers are good archers, but they're not great. Like, you want mostly rangers, I believe. I am going to choose the lumberjack. I believe that he will be pretty strong. You have the chance to hire him or try him out. When you do a tryout, you pay this money over here, and you will see what kind of traits he has. Like, the traits are like this one over here with him being cocky. There are traits that are worse, there are traits that are better. Early on, you shouldn't care too much, but in the late game, you might want to check the people that you want to hire a little bit more. So I'm going to hire this axeman, this woodcutter, and if we take a look at him, he's sure-footed, giving him +5 to defense. At the moment he gets 3 starts in melee skills and 2 in range skills. It's not the best, but I do believe that at some point we might make him into a hybrid, like give him a crossbow and switch weapons between crossbow and something else. If we take a look at the market, we might want to buy something from here. I'm gonna sell this two-handed axe, it's not useful for us. I am going to buy this shield. And does everybody have a helmet? Wildridge doesn't. While I want to bring him a helmet, it's not great, but everything is better than nothing. If they do hit your head and they get a critical chance, your man is just out. Now we have to visit this village, this town over here. In this town you can see they have a barracks and an ore smelter and a pig farm. So that means that they will have meat probably, and they will have a blacksmith. Let's see. Yes, as you can see they have a weaponsmith, which provides you with better, higher level weapons. And over here the armorer provides you with better, higher level armor. We were just going to check for one or two more men to add to our party. There is an apprentice, blacksmith apprentice. There is a militia, which means that they have a little bit of training in fighting. However, they are quite expensive. So what I'm gonna do for the moment is I will hire Rainer, the blacksmith, and Karsten, the dayteller, and I'll probably get the poacher that was inside the village earlier. So we need some weapons for them and some shields. I am going to buy these shields. As far as weapon goes, let's buy a spear. This is a bit expensive, but we do need to equip them. I'm going to get some helmets for them. Even the simple leather helmets would do the job. And they might need some armor as well. Now, just so you know, this might not be the best way to start this game. And if you do have any kind of feedback for me, leave it down in the comments below. But I'm going to improve and get some expertise with time. At the moment, we're just exploring, seeing what the game has to offer. So now let's move back into the village, going back for the contract. And he's telling us that he found out where Hoggard is. And you can see that there's a camp right over here. And there will be bandits in there and Hoggard will be in it. You can find such camps all around the map. We've hired the archer. Our archer has a fear of undead, which gives him -10 resolve when in battle with the undead, and that is a really bad trait. Especially because the undead are scary to begin with. It's not gonna be great. We might want to keep him out of those battles. And he's also dumb, meaning that he gains 15% less experience. For a Rainer, the apprentice, he's strong and he's irrational, meaning he has +10 or -10 resolve randomly at every morale check. That is weird. For Karsten, he has a fear, -10 resolve when in battle with Greenskin. He has a fear of Greenskins. Once again, not the perfect trait for that. And he's a brute, providing us with +15% damage on a hit to the head, but -5 to melee skills. Not the best characters to start with, but they will have to do for now. You will probably replace people in this game a lot. They will get killed, they will feel slots that you don't want them to feel anymore. If you feel that they are weak, it's better to just throw them out. Let's see if it's dawn already. I didn't want to fight at night. When you fight at night, your ranged units get a penalty to shooting. So we do not want that. We have a few blockages around. Like, these are some of the new things they've added with the latest expansion, I believe. Like these extra kinds of elements that are in your way, giving you a slightly better chance to think about the tactics that you want to use and how to position your men. Hoggard the Weasel, he has a really cool armor. Now the thing is, we have a knife over here, 2 knives. There is such a thing as that you can do called farming for a certain armor. Basically, if a weapon is not used, thus not losing the durability, or if an armor is not destroyed, you get a higher chance to get it. The more is damage at the end of the battle, the less chances you are of getting it. And there are certain weapons that can go through armor without damaging it, like knives. So there is, and we're gonna try to push on such a tactics to get Hoggard the Weasel's armor if we can. For our archer over here, we have a quick shot which uses 4 action points, meaning you can do 2 shots in one turn. Or we can do an aim shot which has a slightly higher chance to hit, but we also get one more range. So I'm gonna try to shoot over here. We missed. For our arbalest, he's not close enough to do any kind of damage. I'm not gonna move him up. I'm just gonna wait for them to approach us. So he moved up on us. I'm gonna bring this two-headed axeman and just go ahead and attack him. I've used the club to stun him. This is an attack that the club can do. And as we are surrounding him, we get higher chances to hit. As you can see, we have a 69 chance to hit, and we get a plus because they're surrounded. I'm not sure what the percentage is that you gain with each shot, but there it is. Let's see where our knives are at. So we do have a knife on our arbalest and our archers, which is not exactly how I wanted this to happen. But I'm gonna move them up. My character's up just one more. The thing is, when you want to farm an armor, you want to break their morale, break these people's morale, and to surround him. Because when their morale is broken and they want to flee, if they have a space to flee, they will do so and you will get attacks of opportunity, which can damage, of course, his armor. But if you surround him, then he will stay still. So that's what you have to think about when you are planning to farm an armor. I will show you if I have the chance to do so. Like Hoggard moved up, as you can see over here. I'm going to bring these people here and just try to take a few chances. I'm gonna move the spearman near this brigand with the ranged weapon, thus removing his chance to shoot. I am not gonna attack with the axe, I'm gonna make him wait. I'm gonna switch actually the weapon first and get closer with this character. With the club, I'm gonna try to stun Hoggard. Unfortunately, we missed and we hit his shield. Let's hope we don't pay too much with the fact that we're trying to farm his armor. Over here, we moved up with the knife, and there is this attack called Puncture, which completely ignores armor. And what we're trying to do is just use these attacks as much as possible without having to break his armor. So if other people in his armies die, then his morale will break more quickly. As you can see, now he's fleeing. So what we have to do now is just get close to him and use our knives. And be careful not to give him a chance to move. I'm gonna move up the archer as well, change him to a knight, and make him wait. We'll use the spear over here, he died. For these characters, I'm just gonna see them still. I am gonna keep running them down, so the battle is not over. And now, Well, I was hoping that that would be the grand finale, apparently not. Well, there you have it. As you can see, because the armor wasn't damaged, we received it by doing this kind of farming. We've completed this contract. It's about time to go back. But first of all, let's equip this armor that we've worked for. I'm gonna give it to Hilmar, who's our two-handed axe person. And this other armor, I'm gonna replace it on one of the characters who has a weaker one, which is none at the moment. Maybe to this archer, I'm gonna give him this padded coat. I'll take off the knives from the ranged units and place them to the ones who are actually in front, just so we can have them equipped for the future. Instead of this cleaver, the cleaver is pretty good as far as having attacks that do bleeding, but I do want to add a sword instead. Swords and spears are the most accurate weapon from what I hear. I want them to have spears early on and swords, and as we go along the game we would want to give them some of the other weapons. I will put a cut in here. We've already hit the 30-minute mark, so I thank you very much for watching and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Have a wonderful day!